Hi, hello. Hi, campers. My name is Kayla. I am your camp counselor today, and this is the queen of the night. Say hello. All right, she's gonna go do some things over here, and we're gonna come right back to her a little bit later. So welcome. My name is Kayla Prestel, and I am a puppeteer. How has camp been going? You can send me some chats. I'll read them as they come in, and I'd love to see your responses and how everything's been going. So for the first 4 magical weeks, and we've got another wonderful week ahead of us with the magic flute. Oh, hi, Queen. Yes, you guys are going to make your own queens very shortly. Hi, Vikram. So good to see you guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. So let's first of all, just jog your memory of the magic flute. Did everyone get a chance to watch the HD Met Opera version yet? If not, there's still plenty of time. But today we're going to talk about a specific character within the magic flute, the Queen of the Night. Dun, dun, dun. All right, she's a pretty dark character, as you know. She doesn't like the light. She's down in the dark, you know, the evil sort of darkness, Queen of the Night, only comes out at night. It is puppet time, Helena. Wonderful. Okay, so speaking of puppets, does anybody know really what a puppet is? You know, puppets can be so many different types of things. Fun facts, Daniel has some fun facts. I've been in a lot of different puppet shows, and one of them was the Very Hungry Caterpillar show. And we had 75 different puppets. Yes, it was off Broadway in New York City. And there were puppets of all sizes. We had a giant life-size cow puppet that we made walk across the stage. And then we had little baby fireflies that we made fly around up in the air. So lots of different puppets in that show. Sometimes when people think of puppets, they think of marionettes, right? Puppets with strings on their hands and they get to move. You can all pretend you're a marionette while you're watching and feel like someone has strings. And then there's also shadow puppets. We probably have all done shadow puppets in some way or form. Have you ever played late at night and made a little duck face and shined a flashlight on your hand and saw the shadow on the wall behind you? That's a shadow puppet. So any inanimate thing that we bring to life becomes a puppet. And what we do with puppets is the really fun part. We get to tell stories with puppets. We get to bring characters to life through puppets. And we get to express ourselves creatively through puppets. So let's first of all talk about the character that we're going to be designing a puppet character with. Let's talk about the Queen of the Night. We have a little Menti, Dan, if you want to throw up that Menti for the Queen of the Night. We're just going to start brainstorming some character ideas, okay, about the Queen of the Night and just sort of recap what we've learned about her. All right, and in the Google Classroom, which you always have access to, and Daniel will give you the code, there's a little summary of the different things that the Queen of the Night does throughout the magic flute. So from that summary, from knowing what you learned yesterday with camp counselor Stephanie, let's talk about what the Queen of the Night is. So I'm going to open up my Menti so we have those questions here as well. And we'll get you guys brainstorming here. Okay. So whenever you're ready, Dan, you can throw up that one. In the meantime, if you have some ideas of what the Queen of the Night was for you, you can send some in the chat. Okay. Oh, good. Here we go. We're getting started here. Don't worry, there's no points. By the way, the Queen of the Night is one of my favorite characters in the Magic Flute. I don't know about you guys, who your favorite character is so far. Oh, look at everyone's coming in. Wonderful. Okay. Look at everybody. Did you guys all pick your own icons? I see a snowman and a unicorn and a magic 8 ball. Ooh, I see a rabbit. I see a spy. I see so many cool icons here. I see a dragon, an umbrella. Very fun. There's a big blowfish. All right. I think for some inspiration, we'll bring the Queen of the Night on too. And so you can take a look and get a sense with my puppet inspiration of the Queen of Night. And let's see how we can brainstorm a little bit about this character. Okay. So wow, there's 115 people already. Okay. Perfect. So who in the magic flute is the Queen of the Night? You can throw out your first thoughts, first answers. Who is she in the play? What does she do? What kind of character is she, right? Is she the villain? Is she, who is she the queen of, right? There's no wrong answer here. We're just going to pick our brain and see what we remember from the opera from yesterday. So I'll give you a couple more seconds to put in your answers. She's so many things you couldn't pick. I get it. She's a lot. She's a very complex character. And that's why we're going to kind of break her down a little bit. All right, time's up. Let's see what we all said. Ooh, she's a queen. Very good. She's evil. There we go. Oh, she's a character. She's the villain. She's Pamina's mother. That's very important. Absolutely. She's a darker character. She's the bad guy, the antagonist. Very good storytelling word. Ooh, she is an evil character, a dark person. I think you guys are getting it. The main antagonist. Wonderful. The dark queen. Angsty purple being. Okay, I love that description. So I think we already know a little bit about how your character design is going to go. Excellent. All right, but yeah, she's Pamina's mother. She's the queen of the night, and she's looking for power, right? So how would we describe her more about what she wants, what she's trying to do in the play? What is her goal, and how would we describe that? Yeah, using some adjectives, maybe even how you would design your puppet queen of the night. Dark, angsty, wicked, evil, creepy. Love this. Mysterious, sneaky, purple. I like purple for royalty, right? The queen. Vengeful. Yes. Who is she trying to? This isn't a question in the Menti, but can you remind yourself of who she's trying to have vengeance on, right? Sarastro, who has her daughter, Pamina, and that's going to come into play when we do our final performance with the Queen of the Night. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, there's no wrong answer. We're just brainstorming here and doing our word clouds. Okay, so what is the next question? What happens to her by the end of the play? And does she get what she wants? All right, just so we have a broad idea of where this character ends up. Spoiler alert, Queen. This is how you're going to end up in the magic flute. All right, let's see. Let's let her know. She's a little shocked. She's really anxious. She really wants to find out. They're answering. They're answering. Don't worry. All right, here we go. They've got about 5 more seconds, and the answers are going to come through. Okay, here we go. Time's up. Let's see what everyone said. She does not get what she wants. She dies. Let's see what other answers are coming through. She gets mad. To kill someone. She wants to kill someone. She wants to kill Sarastro. That's why she has this little dagger right here. And she really wants Pamina to kill Sarastro. And that will give Queen of the Night all the power that she wants. So she wants power. Does she get it by the end of the play? No, you're right. She gets defeated. So you guys really learned a lot yesterday. I can see you all were paying attention and have done your research, have watched this amazing opera. So bravo, very good. All right, she's going to go back and we are going to move forward and talk a little bit more about puppets and puppetry. And then we're going to start to make our own puppets. So get your materials ready. If you have the materials list, have those ready to go. We're going to use them in just a moment. So there are four main components we want to think about as we design this puppet. One is the character. So we just did that character work, right? Let's get kind of down right. She's the villain. She is a main character. You know, does she speak or does she not speak? Yes, she has this beautiful arias, but she's actually not very present. So really, most of the time when we see her, she's singing. And she has to have some action, right? She has this dagger that she wants to give Pamina. So we have to think about that in our design. The next element is movement, right? So we have character and then movement. What kind of movement does the Queen of the Night need to take? And you can send me your answers, and camp counselor Daniel will send them to me too. But I think the Queen probably has a little bit more of a magical movement, right? So this is why I made her with this very flowy material, right? So very flowy and has this magical element to it, okay? So that can go into our design choices. Is she natural movement or more stylistic, right? So does she move sort of like a natural human, or does she have a different quality to her movement, right? So that's what we would do stylized. And then we're going to practice some different types of movement later on after we make our puppet. So the third element of puppet design, of puppet creation, is design, right? So what choice of material do we use? What size do we make this puppet? How heavy does this puppet need to be, or does it need to be really light and easy to hold? Does it need to have any specific mechanics? Does it need to turn its head? Does it need to turn, move its arms? Does it need to move its mouth? Those are all choices we can make in our design. And then finally, the performance. So at the end of this, we're going to show you what your assignment for the showcase will be. Once you get to make your Queen of the Night puppet, you will get to create your own recorded performance to the aria in Act 2. So when we're performing the puppet, we want to ask ourselves these questions. How is the puppet moved? How is the puppet held? How does it is manipulated? Right? Because we don't want to make something that then we can't even actually move on our own. So we have to think about that. Who's performing? Has this person ever worked with a puppet before? Has this person, is this person really, really tall and needs a smaller puppet, or is it really, really small and need a higher puppet? Thinking about who is going to be handling this puppet. Style, what style of puppetry, right? There's lots of different types of puppet styles, and we can think about that in our performance. And are we performing on stage? Are we performing on camera? Are we performing live in front of an audience? So those are all choices that will go into the puppet design. And then voice. Are we using our own voice for the puppet, which happens quite often, or are we using a recorded voice? So in this case, you'll all have access to the recording of the Queen of the Night, one of the opera singers from the Met Opera, singing her lovely aria. And so don't worry, you don't have to learn the German libretto and sing and get your opera voices, although you can if you want to. And then if there's any other special things, I think for the Queen of the Night, for this aria, the action in the aria, right? She's giving the dagger to Pamina and telling Pamina if she doesn't kill Sarastro, then she will disown her as her daughter. So she has that dagger. So that's a special characteristic. Okay, so we're going to keep those four in mind, right? What were they? You can say them with me. We have character, we have movement, design, and performance. Okay, let's start making our puppets. All right, so what we're going to start with is something that is like a stick. So I have lots of different things here. I have a ruler. That's nice. You can hold the ruler. I also
Oh, Camp Counselor Kayla, I think you muted yourself with your ruler.
I muted myself. Is that better now?
There you go. Hi, everybody. It's me, Camp Counselor Dan.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I think
this ruler muted me. All right, I gotta be careful where I place it down now.
The Queen of the Night muted you because our campers were saying some not so nice things about the Queen of the Night. So I suspect it was the spirit of the Queen of the Night that muted you. Oh my gosh, look, it's joke o'clock. That's crazy. Here I am and it's joke o'clock. That's insane. Okay, Should we do this together? Do you want to read the joke?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Here's a joke from Crystal in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Why was the magic flute arrested? We'll call it a magic flute, Crystal. I hope you don't mind.
Okay. I don't know, Dan. Why?
I think because it was in treble.
Treble. I get it. Like a treble clef in music.
Oh my gosh. Should we do one more? I think we should do one more, right? Okay, this is from Oliver in Escondido, California. Oliver has been submitting some superb jokes. Thank you, Oliver. Question, what did the banana say to the dog, Kayla?
Let's see. Something about a peel. I don't know.
You're appealing? Wait, I love this answer. Nothing. Bananas can't talk, obviously.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm glad I got to interrupt. I'm glad that you were muted so I could say hi and tell a joke with you.
Perfect. Well, you know, puppet bananas can talk. I will say that.
That's true. That's true.
Make a banana puppet and make it talk.
We learned earlier in the summer camp season that you can put googly eyes on almost anything in your house and make it into a puppet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, everybody. And just so everyone knows, the materials list for today is on the camp website, which I will post below. And we'll post some specifics, but I'm sure Kayla's going to get into that. All right, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, Kayla.
Yeah, so you'll always have access to this video. So if you don't have the materials with you today, you can get the materials from the list, which is posted online, and you can watch this video and make your puppet later. And so if and throughout the week, so there's plenty of time to continue making and building your puppet. So you're gonna grab something like a ruler or a pencil, okay? Something that you can hold in your hand, all right? So that's what we're gonna start with. We're going to start with that rod. We call this a rod puppet. So we need something that acts as a rod, a ruler, a stick, a pencil. And then you're going to pick up some fabric or even flowy newspaper or tissue paper will work for this. But for today, I've got, let's see, I just went around the house to see what was already lying around. And maybe you can ask your parents if there's anything that you can use. So I found this handkerchief and I found some fun little scarves, all right, some little towel scarves here, okay? So let's see. We've got two purple ones and a red one. The red is very dramatic, so that might be really exciting to use. And then maybe it will go, I think it goes really well with this other purple one. We'll leave the bandana to the side. Maybe we'll make that one later. All right, so you're gonna pick which fabric is going to be the body and the head and which one you want to be the arms, okay? I think that this one is going to work best as the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold this beautiful piece of fabric. Hello. All right. And it's pretty good. I think I'm going to keep it folded in half like this because I don't want too much fabric. All right. So I'm going to find the center and put my hand right in the center. And then I'm going to bring that dowel, that pencil, that ruler underneath right where my finger is, kind of like a teepee. So now I'm holding on to the pencil. Here, I'll lift this up so you can see what I'm holding. Oh, there we go. I'm holding the pencil, and the pencil is holding up the fabric. All right, so from here, now what I did with the Queen of the Night's face in the first puppet I made is that I just created a little chunk of extra fabric here at the top so that we have a little head. Now you can do that. You can also, if you want a little bit more of a bigger rounded head, you can use anything like crunched up paper. I have a crunched up plastic bag, and you can put that underneath here. Okay, so now it's at the top of my pencil and the fabric goes over it. And now I have a little bit more to hold on to. All right, so from here, you're going to take your rubber bands, or I have some hair ties here, or you can even use masking tape and tape around, but I've got a rubber band today, which is nice and easy. And I'm gonna rubber band the pencil over the head. And I'm gonna just do that nice and tight. You can do a hair tie, a rubber band, and we're just gonna get it all attached so that that pencil is secure. All right, so let's test this out. Look at that. I've got her head, and now she moves side to side, and she's got this nice flowy body. Here, I'll back up a little bit So she has room to flow, to flow, to flow. But as we said, with our design, I think the Queen of the Night really needs some kind of arm movement, right? And to hold her little dagger. All right, great. Yes, there's some tips here right in the center. And it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I kind of like that it's asymmetrical. It gives it some nice flow. All right, so now I'm going to pick up my other fabric. This one's a little bit more complicated, but you guys can do it. I have faith in you. So I'm going to start. I'm going to put this down for a moment, and I'm going to pick up my other fabric. I'm going to try not to mute myself. And so this is a square. Most of our fabric might be a square or a rectangle. This is perfect because you can see right through it. And then I'm going to go one corner to the opposite corner. So I'm going to fold it across like a diagonal, and it'll give me this nice triangle. Okay, so now I have this triangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top point of the triangle, those two ends, and I'm going to take my my Queen of the Night here, and I'm going to put this little piece underneath the rubber band. So I'm going to get it attached to the back of my Queen of the Night. So here, I'll try and do it right in front of the camera. There we go. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just tucking it under. So now it's nice and secured. Okay, and if you really want to, you can put another rubber band all around it. So now it's kind of like she has a little cape right now. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool with the Queen, right? She's like this cape, very dramatic. But we're going to do a little bit, I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. So now I'm folding that back end up. So we're just going to kind of gather it. And now we have a little bit more room. So maybe we'll do it a second time. It depends on, it's up to you. It depends on how wide you want her arms to be. Okay. So once I'm folded up to the width that I want to be folded, I'm going to take, and this was on the supplies list, a safety pin, right? So those are easy to grab, all right? And you can have a parent help you with this if you're not used to working with safety pins. And I'm just going to safety pin this little piece together. So I'm safety pinning it so that it attaches together so that it stays lifted. So this is easy. We can just really make it simple and not have to worry about gluing or anything like that. If you're older and you like to sew, you can also sew these together. All right, so this is the tricky part where sometimes having an adult to help you. Maybe I need to bring my adult in. All right, let me see, almost there. Okay, so I got that safety pin right there. So now let's see where we are now with this. Oh, she's looking great. Where's her pencil? Here it is. Wow, look at this so far. All right, so this is pretty. I've got some good arm fabric to work with here. Look at this. All right, so, I want to make it a little more defined, and I want to give her a little hand. So, a really cool trick for giving a puppet a hand when you're working with fabric. You saw that I'm sort of just twisting it into kind of a rope. Now I'm going to take this end, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. All right, I'm just going to tie it under this loop, make a loop, and then I'm going to put one end through the loop, and I've got my little knot, and I've got my little puppet hand. All right, so I'm going to do that with the other side as well. Let's see here. So now she has a little hand to direct her arms with. All right, I'm going to do that with the other side too. I'm going to twist it up, twist, 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 twist. And then once I get that end, I'm going to tie that knot. Give her a little knot, make that hole, right, like a little loop. And then I'm going to put the end through the loop and pull. All right, so now we have two hands, we have our body, and we have our head. Already, she's already coming to life. Hello. Hi. Hi. All right. So now let's give ourselves as puppeteers something to sort of hold on to so we can really make those arms come to life. So again, you can use a pencil. All right. You can use, you want something a little smaller, right? You can use like a bamboo skewer if you cut off the sharp ends. You can also use chopsticks. All right. If you've gotten any sort of, you know, any stick that it resembles this, but I love to just grab chopsticks from my favorite Chinese restaurant. And here we go. I've got 2 arms right here. Now, sometimes with chopsticks, you got to break them apart. All right, so now I've got my 2 arm rods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the hands. Yes, tripod snaps, yummy Chinese food. My favorite is the sesame chicken. That's my favorite Chinese food. All right, so from here, I'm going to put that one end inside that knot, and then I'm going to take my other rubber band, right? So we're going to have lots of rubber bands. Rubber bands are just such an easy, nice way to make something come together quickly and securely. All right, so I'm just giving her a little bracelet. I'm just rubber banding all the way around that chopstick and the little knot of her hand. Okay, nice and tight. Get that last little bit in there. I think I can do one more bit around so it's nice and secure. You want to make sure you can also glue this in if you have time. You want to let it dry. All right, so you can use just Elmer's glue or fabric glue. Okay, let's see. You guys, this puppet is coming along. I hope yours are too. And you have plenty of time. Wow, look at this. So now she's a little hand. Scratch her head, pat her tummy, and poke, poke. Okay, Queen of the Night, calm down. All right. All right, so let's give her other arm rod now. All right, so here we go. We're going to get her other arm rod on. So I'm going to get that other chopstick. Where did I put it? Where'd it go? Ah, here it is. There it is. All right, so here we go. And sometimes if you have chopsticks, actually this end might be a good one to put in through. It might stay a little bit more in that knot. So I'm gonna just slide it up into that fabric. There it is. And then once I see it's all the way through, I'm gonna grab my other rubber band, or I'm just using hair ties. You can get hair ties, so many different colors. You can just, you know, borrow some from your little sister, from your big sister, from your brother if he has long hair and he likes to do a little ponytail. All right, here we go. Rubber bands are good too. All right, I'm still doing nice and tight, right? So this is just looping over, getting it all the way on, just like you would. You don't want your pigtails to fall out, so you don't want her hand to come off. Okay. All right, so now I think she has both arms and a head. Ha-ha. Da, 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 da. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. I love this. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Camp Counselor Kayla, we are getting a number of questions coming in about some of the earlier steps in our puppetry process.
Absolutely.
So I thought I would give our campers a few moments to maybe toss some of their comments back into the comment section of either Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching. And in the meantime, I was hoping that maybe you and I could do a little fun fact research about your amazing career as a puppeteer.
Yes, sure. I would love to.
Let's talk it out here. So we did discuss this one already. Fun fact, Kayla was in the off-Broadway production of a play called A Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is based on a very, very popular children's book. And I think you gave me a picture of you in that production. Let's check that out. Oh, there you are. What are you doing here? What is this?
So that is the Yellow Cow. And the whole show had 4 different Eric Carle stories, right? So Eric Carle is the author and illustrator of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And so the Very Hungry Caterpillar show had 4 of his stories. So this one is from the artist who painted a blue horse. And the story goes that the artist loves to paint, and he picks a different color and he paints his own magical animal from that color. So in the show, not only does he paint, you can see in the background a beautiful yellow cow on his canvas, but something magical happens. And every time he paints a picture, it comes to life. And so right away, a big yellow cow walked on stage. So I got to help move Yellow Cow across the stage. So I worked his head. So I got to move his head side to side, up and down, and we also moved his legs. So that cow actually walks like a real cow with all 4 legs moving.
Wow.
You can see he comes up to my waist.
Oh my gosh. It's a really cool puppet. It looks heavy. Was it heavy?
It was actually, most of it was made out of foam, the type of foam that you would wear in like on your flip-flops, that kind of foam.
Gotcha.
So, you know, if you pick up your flip-flop, right, it's pretty light. And so even though it was really big, there were some wooden handles and things like that made it a little heavy, but honestly, it was pretty light.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, somebody was asking what you study in college to become a puppeteer. And fun fact, camp counselor Kayla attended Cornell College, I hope I spelled that right, in Iowa, which is in the Midwest of the United States of America. And you studied theater arts, right?
Yes. And, you know, with puppetry, it's kind of one of those art forms where so many people from different backgrounds kind of fall into it, because there's the building component of it, right? So a lot of carpenters build puppets, you know, artists like painters, ceramicists, you know, lots of different fine artists will gravitate towards puppetry. And then there's also the performance element of it as a performer, a theater performer, TV performer, comedian. So it really kind of, even the fabrics, a lot of costume makers and costume designers love making costume puppets or costumes for puppets. So
that's so cool.
Get involved with puppetry.
Yeah. And there are, I can think of several Met Opera productions that use puppetry. And I know that you had some friends who were in our production of Madama Butterfly that uses a very special form of puppetry, a special art form. Here's a fun fact that I love. Oh, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that. Yeah, that was a Bunraku puppet. So that was a little boy, right? The son in Madame Butterfly, and he is special because he has to be operated by 3 puppeteers. So yeah,
lots of teamwork there, huh? I love this, and you sent me a picture of this. Kayla once used a mop head to build a dog puppet named Princess Scruff. I love Princess Scruff. Look at Princess Scruff. Oh my gosh, I just want to cuddle Princess Scruff.
She was pretty.
I love her tiara. That's so cute.
She is princess.
And it's so fun to see that you can make a puppet out of almost anything, really. I'm sure the campers will want to know if this was a clean mop head or a used mop head.
It was brand new.
Okay. I love Princess Scruff. Okay, and then one more quick thing, and then we'll get to some of the camper questions. They were rolling in so quickly, I just wanted to give them a second to... well, you talked a little bit about shadow puppetry, but then I just want to say, I don't have a picture of this, but you said the weirdest puppet you ever built was a pair of lips with no face.
Yes. Yeah, and so we used our fingers to create the eyes. So you can kind of see how that looks like 2 eyes, and you can blink. And then I just took a pair of kitchen tongs, you know, like those little tongs you would use. And I put, you know, a piece of cardboard on one end and on the other end to look like lips, and I was able to make it open and close. And so when you shine a flashlight on it, you don't see the tongs, you don't see the cardboard, you just see the beautiful silhouette that happens.
Oh, so then maybe I do have a picture of this. Is that this? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. It's kind of romantic too.
Yeah. Well, in that show, the lips also turned into a rose, so you can see a little bit in the shadow stem of the flower. So
these are so cool. It's so interesting to learn more. I mean, how many, I don't know apart from you and maybe Tom Lee, a friend of ours who works at the Met, I don't really know very many professional puppeteers, but it seems like you're so creative, and you probably see puppets where other people just see like a pencil or a mug. You probably see puppets everywhere, don't you?
Yeah. You know, I think we you know, when you're little and you lie down on your back and you look at the clouds and you see shapes and characters in the clouds. It's a similar way of looking at the world, I think. You know, you can see the characters in different objects.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me go back to some of these questions here. I'm scrolling up, but I know something that was asked really quickly at the tip top was just if we could review how you constructed the head of the character.
Absolutely. So I have some more material to do it again and show. So I used a plastic bag for this most recent one. So you can still just crumple up a piece of a plastic bag, or even I have a piece of newspaper. Just gonna put in a big tight ball here,
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna grab, let's do the pencil part first so you can kind of see, and then we'll put the fabric over it. So I've got my rod, right? My ruler, my pencil, whatever I'm using. I
Mm-hmm.
have my ball, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of wedge it up in there, all right? You can always add a little extra reinforcement by gluing this part if you want to. And so you want to, though, to help reinforce it, kind of smush the bag or the paper around the pencil so that you can kind of hold it, kind of like a little lollipop. And then should I pause for a second and let people kind of catch up, or should
Maybe, yeah. I think that's a really good start. And then someone had asked if they don't have a dowel rod, if they don't have a stick at home. I think Kayla is demonstrating that you can use really anything, a pencil. I think you used a ruler. We've used chopsticks.
chopstick, anything that has a similar shape to this, it's completely fine. You can take a old paper towel roll and just, you can use that. It'll be a little thicker. Trying to think of other things that have a similar shape.
Yeah,
And you don't want it to be too bendy, right? Because it
right.
has to be able to be rigid. You can
Gotcha.
just go find a stick outside
Yeah.
and you can use a couple plastic straws and like maybe tape them together so they're a little thicker. Yeah,
Great.
because these are going to be pretty light puppets, right? This paper and the plastic bag don't weigh very much, so it doesn't have to be really, really sturdy. So then,
Um, I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I have the next question if
oh,
you're,
yeah, absolutely.
I think they just wanted to see one more time how we attach the fabric ends to the hands,
Oh, okay,
to the
great.
arms.
Did you want to see any more of this? So essentially, you
Oh
just
yeah, maybe do that one more time. I think
and
that's
then you just
helpful.
wrap around, and then that's where you put the rubber band right around top. And if you really want to, if you're having a hard time securing it that way, you can also do a rubber band here first, and then do an extra step of another rubber band. So just get all those rubber bands and hair ties out there. You can also use twisty ties. If you have wire that can wrap around, it's a little harder, but so that's that step. And then I'll show you the hands.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just keep working with this so that way you can see it being done. So imagine now this is the back fabric, right? And so I've folded it however many times I want to fold it, right? So now I have a little bit more of a rod shape to work with.
Gotcha.
The end of that little point, this might, depending on how familiar you are with tying knots, you can do one of two things. You could just fold it over and make a loop if you
Okay.
want to do it that way, and just put a little piece of tape around it or another rubber band, and you've got a little hand there. Or you can also, if you don't want to use a rubber band or you're running out, you can tie a loop. So I'm going to tie, and so the first step is that little cross, right? So there, I'm crossed it over. And then I'm going to take this little end and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to feed it through that hole.
Okay.
Come out through the hole. There it is. And I'm going to
Cool.
pull tight, and I've got my knot.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I should be trying this at home, but I'm going to go back and review later. And that's something that I want to reiterate to all of our campers. This is a live video now, but it's all recording and it'll stay on YouTube and Facebook forever. So you can go back and look at it later on. Okay, I think that gets me up to speed. I will jump back out of here and we'll keep going. Thank you so much, Kayla. And it's so cool to learn more about your training and some of the interesting jobs that you've had as a puppeteer. Okay, thanks. Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Okay, so the final step, really, I have my basic body, and as you guys are finishing your hands and your rods, and this rod comes in again just with a little rubber band or tape, and you might not even need the rod at all, but it gives you a little bit more control. Now, really, the final step is adding the character design touches. All right, so you can use whatever materials, and we're not going to do this in this next moment because I want to give you plenty of time. It takes a little bit longer to do the detail work, right? So if you have those googly eyes, right, you can put the googly eyes there. But let me bring my other puppet back and show you the design choices I made. Oh, thank you, Carrot. So nice. I'm so glad you're finding this interesting. So let me show you a little bit close up of the face of my queen. So I'll show you the material that I used in just a second to work with, but you can use anything you want. I pulled out as an example, you can do construction paper and glue to the top of your head here. You can also, I like sparkling soda, and I just saved the box that it came in, and I can cut this up and it gives me a nice brown edge that I can color marker over and make it whatever color I want, and cut out with scissors whatever shapes I want to use. So I could create a little crown out of this. I could create her eyebrows, her eyes, her nose, her mouth, whatever you'd like. You can make hands out of this. Oh, thank you, Anya. And so I decided to make her knife out of this. So you can see her little dagger. There's her pointy dagger. You can still see on the back, that's the LaCroix cardboard. But the choices, as you're starting to design the choices, I just kept these little parts that were already in the fabric as her eyes. And I decided, because the queen is very intense and very, has that dark villainous element. So I gave her these sharp, pointy eyebrows to kind of make her look a little angry and a little intense. And then, of course, she sings these beautiful notes of the aria. And so I wanted to, even though I can't really move her mouth up and down with this puppet, I wanted to give her a sense of her mouth being open. So I created this little circle out of the foam, and I just glued that to there as well. And then I made a little crown, which is really fun. I just put little different pieces of this fun foam, which you can get at craft stores. You can also use cardboard and, the cardboard I showed you, or you can just cut out a piece of construction paper and color it and design it however you want to design it. So there's so many choices here that you can make her face look. I didn't even give her a nose, but you can give her a nose. She kind of has a nose if you look in the fabric, little pointy nose. Yeah, I'm sorry. She doesn't like her nose being poked. So I'll give you a little show of what that fun foam looks like. And then I want to make sure we get a little bit of puppeteer training in before oh, Sanjeev, the queen of the night looks like a queen. Great. That was what I was going for. So fantastic. So here's my little stash of fun foam. So you can see I've used a lot of it and I've cut around, and it's just this little foamy material. It's already comes in different colors, and it's really easy to cut different shapes out of. And that's what I used for her face. So fun foam, you can see I have a giant googly eye down here. I decided not to use googly eyes for her for this one. But there's so many choices you can use. So fun foam you can buy at any craft store. But you don't have to use this. You can use any sort of cardboard you find around the house. You can use regular paper and color it with markers or crayons, or however you want. This is where the creativity comes into play. All right, so wherever you are in your process, I want you to pause on your puppet making, because we are going to do a brief little movement exercise with our puppets and with our bodies. An important part of being a puppeteer is understanding how to make the movement come to life, how to make the character come to life through movement. And sometimes understanding how we move in our own bodies will help us understand how to make this character move. So Dan, can you pull up the Laban exercise Menti? So you guys are gonna get full on theater training today. I'm gonna put my theater degree to use, and we're gonna learn about Laban movement. It's gonna look more complicated than it is, don't worry, but by the end of this Menti, you guys are going to be pros at this. All right, so let's go to the first chart, and I'm gonna just go, and I'll give you guys a chance to get on the Menti as I describe the 8 different types of movement. So the 8 different types are on the left there, on the outside of that black line. It says punch, press, slash, ring, dab, glide, flick, and float. And then on the other side in the box, there's a lot of words that describe the type of movement, right? There's heavy movement, or there's really light movement. And then there's direct movement, it goes in one direction, or there's indirect movement. Then there's quick, and then there's slow. And then there's bound, meaning I can't really move anywhere. And then there's free, I can move everywhere, I can float around, I can run around, and like a balloon untethered. So those are the sort of elements. I don't need you to know all of those, but we're gonna try and explore how different combinations of those elements will create really interesting movement. And then I'll give you that assignment with this Laban at the end to incorporate into your performance, okay? So let's see if we can not only practice this movement with our puppets, but also in our own bodies, okay? So I'm gonna kind of back up a little bit more. And let's start with punch. All right, this one's kind of easy. Just punch, punch. Make sure no one's around. Don't actually punch anyone. Just send a little punch out in the air. And then you guys can do this with me. And then we have press, right? This is a little different. It's press, right? Or like you're pressing a button, right? And there's a little bit more of a slower, direct quality. It's less quick, right? And then we have slash, like you're going to slash a big tree out of your way on a hike. Slash, slash, slash. Good. Then we have ring. So this is like when you're trying to like really try and squeeze something, like you're trying to open up a jar of jelly that the jar is just really sticking. You're just twisting, 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 twisting. Oh, we got it open. All right, then we have dab. So this one's not as heavy as punch. It's just a little dab, dab, dab. So if she had a little magic wand, it would be like dab, dab. You're a queen, and you're a queen, and you're a queen. Good. And then we have glide. So this is like, imagine that you are gliding on ice skates and you're just gliding through on the ice, nice and smooth. And then we have flick. Flick is a little like dab, but it's more indirect. So you can just flick to the side. You can just flick that little fly out of your way, flick your hair out of the way. And then the final one is float. So float is a little less direct and she's just kind of floating. I think this is kind of where the Queen of the Night tends to live, just sort of floating like a balloon being blown in the wind. All right, so let's see. We're going to go through a really quick quiz and practice this movement with our puppets. And we're going to see if we can identify the different types of movements. So if you want to go to the next slide, Dan, we're going to see our first movement quiz and try and figure out which one this is. So it's multiple choice. Let's see this first picture. I love all the hearts coming in. Thank you, guys. All right. Excellent. So players are coming. Are you ready? Are you getting ready? Okay, she's getting ready. She's gonna get ready. Get ready. All right, here we go. Get your puppets ready. And it's okay if your puppets aren't finished. Oh, she lost her arm right there. That's okay. If your puppets aren't finished, we're just going to do this with your own body, and then you'll have plenty of time to make your puppets before Friday. All right. Almost everyone's in. Here we go. So this first, yeah, look at your phone. Okay, great. So this first, oh, is there a picture, Dan, on the last slide, previous slide? There we go. Okay, here's the cat pouncing. What type of movement is that? So now it's going to give you 4 options to choose from on the next slide. So it's like a big pounce. All right, so we can go to the answers. And let's see. Oh, all right. So it looks like punch was the winner, and that is the correct answer, you guys. Awesome job. You guys are already getting this. You're so smart. Okay, let's go to the next one and see if we can figure out the next movement. Ooh, okay, so a coin toss. Just can you toss a coin? Toss. Oh, it's heads. All right, let's see. Let's see what you guys think, what kind of movement this coin toss is. All right, let's see. All right, we have 5 seconds for the answers to be revealed. Time's up. Flick 75. Overwhelming. You guys got this. Wow, you're amazing. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, let's see. Squeezing a wet sponge, right? Let's see if this puppet can do this. Right, like she just wants to squeeze Sarasto in her clutch. All right, let's go to the quiz and see what. I'll put her arm back on as we do this. All right, let's see what it is. What kind of Laban movement descriptor? We've got dab, ring, punch, or slash. Let's see what the right answer is. Time's up. Ring! You guys did it again. That's the correct answer. Fantastic. All right, excellent. So we're halfway through. Let's go to the next one. All right, a hawk soaring through the air. I think the Queen of the Night does a lot of this movement through on stage, right? If I were a puppet Queen of the Night. All right, let's see what Laban movement. Yeah, can you soar? Soar. Let's see. All right, we've got glide, flick, punch, or dab. Let's see where the answer comes up. I'll bring the other queen out. Glide. Oh my goodness, you guys are getting better and better. All right, that's the right answer. All right, let's see what the next one is. Let's see if these are going to get trickier or not. Bubbles. All right, this one might be a little tricky. Let's see. Let's see if we got bubbles. So let's see here. Bubbles are just kind of in the air, just all around. All right, we've got slash, press, glide, or float. Let's see what you guys came up with. Float! Yeah, glide is a little tricky, but float was the right answer. You guys did it again. Okay, there's just a couple more. Sitting on a whoopee cushion. This one's a little abstract. It's pretty funny, right? So what happens when they sit down on the whoopee cushion and then you hear that coming out? What kind of movement quality is that? Mhm. Do you know? Oh, the queen thinks she knows. Maybe. We'll see. Ring, press, flick, or slash. Press. That's right. So it's slowly pressing the air out, and that's what makes that silly sound. Okay, great. I think we have two more. So it's at this point, process of elimination. All right, we've got a pirate drawing his sword out. Twah! Arr! All right, what kind of movement is that? Oh, you have a sword. You could practice this. Whew. Aha! Pretty good. Yeah. All right, let's see. Press, slash, glide, or ring. Slash. You guys are so good at this. Did you guys all go to theater school too? You're just blowing this out of the water. All right, the final one. Let's see. What is the final movement? Last but not least, the picture coming up. Oh, okay. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. This one's a GIF. I think you guys all know this. What's he doing? Let's see if I can get the queen to do it too. Yeah. All right, let's see those answers. What's he doing in that GIF? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clara got it. He's dabbing. Wonderful. Okay, bravo, bravo. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, she's clapping, clapping. Sometimes her knife gets in the way. All right, wonderful. They did amazing. You guys really did amazing. The queen said that too. So in our last little bit of time, I want to give you a sneak preview of what I would love to see in your showcase. So we've made our puppet and we're still making our puppet. We're still finishing up the designs here, those last minute designs of our queen. And then we have the beautiful music from the Met Opera of this aria that the queen sings in Act 2. So this is the point where she arrives and sees that Pamina has not killed Sarastro. Sarastro is still alive. And so she says, Pamina, if you don't kill her, I will disown you as my daughter and I'll never speak to you again. And I'll remove all my love and care and support. And so she gives Pamina the knife. So this is the scene that I want you to listen to. And I've posted the lyrics of what the queen is actually saying when she's singing that aria. They're in the Google Classroom under puppetry, under puppet performance. And also this video is there under puppet performance. So I'll make sure that that's up as well. But we're going to show you the video that I made with the help of my mother. So you want to enlist a sibling or an adult, or you can even just prop up your recording device and make your own video. with your queen puppet, and I want you to see if you can incorporate some of those Laban movements. And as we watch this clip that Daniel will get ready to show, you can see if maybe you can identify some dabbing or gliding or floating or slashing or punching, and you can use that to really make your own puppet performance interesting and rich in movement. So let's see if we can pull up the clip, and we just have the first half to show you, and we'll have we can have the full thing to watch so you guys get a sense to watch it and learn from it on Google Classroom as you start to create your own puppet performance. Yay! Oh, she's bowing. Oh, bravo, bravo. Very good. Well done, Queen. She's a very seasoned performer. Unfortunately, she doesn't get what she wants. We all know the end of that. But very, very wonderful, famous aria, beautiful piece of music from the Magic Flute. And you guys get to bring it to life with your Magic Queen, your Queen of the Night puppets from the Magic Flute. So I'm so excited. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, you guys. I will be checking in along with Camp Counselor Stephanie tomorrow and Thursday to see if you have any other questions about the puppet making or the puppet performance. And I'll also be putting up some things in the puppet and in the Google Classroom. So look under puppet performance and you'll see the full video of my performance so that you can get some inspiration. And you can also watch this video over and over and over again because it'll be recorded so that you can finish the construction of your puppet. So thank you guys so much.
Oh my gosh, Camp Counselor Kayla, that was awesome. As Pepper Socks just said, this is wonderful. You are so talented.
Pepper Socks. It's a great name.
My gosh, it's a great name, isn't it? Yes, so much thanks coming to you. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, everybody. That's right. Yes, everyone. Thanks for watching today. Kayla, this was such a great lesson. And what I love about what you taught us is it's something that any of us can do with things that we already have at home. There were a lot of questions today about materials, people wanting to have the right materials. And I think what you said so elegantly is that there's no right or wrong material to make this puppet.
No, yeah. Anything that's flowy. You can even use a flowy t-shirt. You can use a towel, a washcloth, you know, anything, a newspaper you can use. So
absolutely. So before we sign off, because we are at just about at the hour, I wanted to review the rest of our schedule for the week. Oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, wait.
It's Joker Clock.
Look, we almost missed it. Getting it in right under the wire here. All right, let's see here. This is from Darasimi in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
What do composers use to go shopping? I don't know. I give up. A Chopin list. A shopping list.
I'm going to go Chopin.
I'm going to go Chopin. All right. We've got one from, oh, this is another one from Crystal. Crystal submitted a few jokes. This one was too good to pass up. You want to read this one?
Okay. Why are dogs bad dancers? Because they have 2 left feet.
It's so perfect, right?
It's true, they do.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we got that joke o'clock in before our hour was up. Friends, can we just quickly review the rest of our schedule for the week? Kayla, do you have a minute to help me out with this?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right. Well, from Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, that's New York City time, until Friday at 5 p.m. New York City time, you can watch for free the Metropolitan Opera's English language production of The Magic Flute. This is directed by Julie Taymor, who is famous for having directed The Lion King and a bunch of really spectacular films and other theater pieces. So I'm going to leave that scrolling down there so you don't forget. Okay.
And guess what Julie Taymor put in her production of The Magic Flute? Lots of puppets.
Lots of puppets.
You can get inspiration from watching that production.
Absolutely. Yes, the polar bear puppets are not to be missed.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so tomorrow, Wednesday, we will have our Zoom check-in at 11 a.m. with the younger campers. Okay, so that's our younger set. And those those Zoom codes, sorry, let me just get my banner up here. Let's see, Wednesday. Oh, I guess I didn't add it in, but Wednesday at 11 Eastern, New York City time, there is a Zoom code in the Google Classroom. You can email us if you don't have access to that. We will help you out. It's in the Google Classroom. Any questions, same place, summercamp@medopera.org. And that's where you, if you're a younger camper on Wednesday, can chat with Kayla or with camp counselor Stephanie about anything that any questions that you have. Also, Dr. Kamala is going to be there, and she's great at answering questions about the history of this opera, about Mozart. We love Dr. Kamala. She is so knowledgeable. Okay, and then we will have an artist Q&A with Paula Swazi. We love Camp Counselor Paula. Hey, Paula, I hope you're watching. And with Met Opera star baritone Will Liverman, who has played Papageno in The Magic Flute at the Met. And he is a legit star. He is so cool. We're gonna have a great conversation. So make sure you are using the Google Classroom to submit your video questions or your questions for Will. He'll answer your questions. He's had a great career. He's also an incredible pianist. He's a Renaissance man of classical music and music in general. So we're gonna have a fun time with him tomorrow. He's a great guy. Okay. Thursday, our older campers are going to have their 11 a.m. Zoom check-in with Kayla and with Camp Counselor Stephanie and Dr. Kamala. And then Isabel Leonard, you remember her from last week. She's going to do opera story time this week. And then she'll take some of your questions straight out of the YouTube, Facebook chat as they come in. She's going to read a wonderful story. We're going to talk a little bit more about her career. You already know so much about her. But make sure you join us for that. And then Thursday at 1, we have Brian Waghorn and Howard Watkins, two of our assistant conductors at the Met, who you've met, you may know through their videos on the Google Classroom, musical moments with Brian and Howard. So it'll be like meeting friends that you've never met before, but you already feel like you kind of know them, right? So make sure you submit some video questions for them too, and you can do that through the Google Classroom. And of course, on Friday, our favorite day is Camper Showcase at 12 noon, New York City time. All right, friends, make sure you're getting your, I can't wait to see these puppet creations, Kayla.
That's my favorite part. It's my favorite part, but everyone's puppet ends up being so unique. So I'm very excited.
Absolutely. So that's our week, campers. I am so excited. Kayla, can you think of anything that I've forgotten to add?
The aria, the music for the puppet production will also be in the Google Classroom. So you can
great.
want to use that in your recording.
I see a few questions here about the Zoom meetings. The Zoom meetings are just a chance to check in and say, Kayla, I started my puppet and I'm having a problem with the hands, or can you recommend, some materials, or how should I decorate this? So that's what they're for. Nothing in camp is essential. Remember, it's summer camp, not summer school. It's all here. It's all for fun. So I think that's all I have for today, Kayla. I can't wait to see what these campers come up with.
So excited.
I'm so grateful to you. This was such an awesome lesson today.
So happy I was able to do this and share this with you all.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Kayla. I'll see you around. And thanks, MedOpera campers. I'll see you very soon. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.